mad. As the multiverse aligns, new mutated enhanced being of my kind. I rhyme to an iron heartbeat of Eddie Kane, the conqueror with the thought of Xavier's peace of mind. Look, match crafting a well written in Hell's Kitchen, being blind, dare to see your Scott Summers eye to eye. Miles ahead, web slinging online in this age of Voltron. You ain't even inclined. The real McCoy, your beast with mine. I'm from Sakar, barely age. I've increased the time. Fantastic as a force field formed by Sue. It's the arrival of marvel of the mind. Suspend due. Go.
First and foremost, what up, though? It's Marvel of the Minds. I'm your host, Nametag Alexander. I got my co-host with me, or host as well, Peace of My co-host. We both host this show. I mean, I did my co-host, like, you know, that implies that you're saying less or whatever, but you know, it's our show at the end of the day. But I got my host with me, Peace of Mind. What's going on?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
And one thing, because I've been scouring the internet, man, and one thing about it is it ain't a lot of it's not a lot of Marvel or comic book centered broadcasts, I should say, or podcasts, what have you, that are spearheaded by hip hop artists, right? It's a few, and we're one of the few. So that's a lane I think we can own, man. And I'm real excited, and I can't wait to like build more. I just been like doing a little bit more research and just trying to really help grow this show, man. And I'm excited about it. And while we're here, it's fall season. You know, Halloween is not far around the corner. You think spring? Where you at?
It's spring, bro. It's spring.
Yeah, where you at? Yeah, but around here, man, you know, it's fall is here. We don't got quite the fall weather in Michigan, but you know, that means Halloween is around the corner. And because of that, Marvel, they were very intentional with deciding to release Agatha All Along, originally titled Agatha House of Harkness, whatever. And
you know what? I think there was actually, they had another name for it too. And I like the way that they did that, because I don't think those other names were actually the name of it ever. They were never intentional. The name, you know, the name Agatha All Along, like the title was always going to be Agatha All Along. You know what I'm saying? Because of the song, like, they were,
Why do you think they did that as far as those names? Because like I said, House of Harkness was one, and I forget the other one.
I think, like I said, I think they did that just to be cheeky. Like, you know, the name of the show was Agatha All Along. Like, it was never intended to be anything.
It was
else,
like the Witch's Coven or something like that. I forget. I had to go look them up. So with this series, man, it picks up, and I guess I'll pull up. I got it up on IMDb about just based on what the series is. It says, when a new series of tragedies strike the city of Westview, the infamous Agatha Harkness finds herself down and out of power when a suspicious goth teen helps break her free from a distorted spell. We'll get to that in a second too. Her interest is piqued when he begs her to take him on a legendary witch's road, a magical gauntlet of trials that, if survived, rewards a witch with what they're missing. In this case, her powers, right? Together, Agatha and this mysterious team pulled together a desperate coven and set off down the road. Which, it's funny, I didn't think about this until today. The Wizard of Oz, dog. Like, I didn't. Silly me, because clearly this show is piggybacking off of WandaVision, right? Which the whole spell that Wanda was under was based on her being, well, she did the spell herself, and Agatha. And how did that work again? I gotta go back and watch that episode of WandaVision. Like, how did that come about? Because Wanda put the hex over Westview, right? And created that whole TV series style vibe based on her, you know, her growing up and always watching because her dad was hustling the DVDs or whatever. How exactly did Agatha or Agnes at that time? Well, Agatha, clearly she faked it as Agnes, but how did she become a part of that?
So I think Agatha just was meddling with her within that, like messing with her, you know, head, so that she didn't actually realize that it was her that did the head.
Because I didn't remember how she ended up in Westview. I'm like, how did Agatha end up in Westview, or was she already there? And then that's why I got to go back and watch that episode.
I think she was following. I think she was following Wanda because she knew that she was that deal, and
Yeah, how
Agatha's
powerful
whole
she
thing
was.
was she was stealing people's powers.
And then
That's like she
okay.
would, yeah.
Because they did go to her backstory in one of those episodes where she was with all of those witches or whatever, and she murked them. Whatever, they tried to kill her, she ended up killing them, absorbed their powers. Which was that who in these episodes? Or what was it, episode 2? We're gonna bounce around as far as the episodes or whatever. But in episode 2, because we gotta get to 3 as well. But were the Salem 7? Was that them? Those like dead on the street? Could that have been them, the ones that she killed?
That might have been. I
Got
don't
it.
know.
Yeah, man, that's pretty damn interesting. So that's why I say this show, while it's not anything that holds my attention, it's not one of the shows where I'm like, man, like I'm just excited to see this week to week, right? But it's enough happening to where it's got my attention when I'm like, damn, this is interesting. I wonder why they did like that. Case in point. So let's start with episode 1, and we're gonna run through them. So we got episode 1, Seekest Thou the Road, I believe was the name. And for those of y'all don't know, Agatha, the lead of this series or whatever, if you didn't watch WandaVision, go back and watch it. It was an incredible series presented by Marvel Studios at height of the pandemic, right? Came in 2021, and everybody's like, yo, fresh off Endgame or Far From Home or whatever, from phase 3 or whatever. It starts phase 4 with WandaVision. And like, while Elizabeth Olsen was the star, as well as Paul Bettany, who plays Vision, man, another star. And of course, Tiana Paris was dope, but also Katherine Hahn, right? Like, I think we're invested in this series solely based on her. We don't truly care that much about Agatha and from the comics or whatever like that, right? It's just that this woman played this role so greatly, and it was so like in depth for like the different types of characters that she played while being this witch or whatever, right? Like if you notice in one of the scenes where she starts to recognize, like, I guess the spell is broken, so to speak, when she's in the mirror and she's like changed, you see all the different like outfits and stuff and different like eras that she was in from WandaVision. Like, yo, that's kind of crazy.
That was cool.
So we start off with one. Basically, I thought this was so interesting when it came on, because I was like, hold up, wait a minute, what's going on here? I clicked instantly, like I forgot at first, until I really saw like the way it was coming on, and I'm seeing them walking, they on the crime scene or the death scene or whatever, and I'm like, why is she a cop? Like, why is she a cop? And I was like, oh, I forgot Wanda put her under that spell, right? So she's trapped in it. I got it right here in my notes, whatever. She's trapped under a spell. It's a fictional crime noir series. She plays a detective. She gradually realizes that she is still Agatha Harkness, and her powers have been suppressed by Wanda's magic still, which apparently was 3 years, right? So that lets you know that during that time, Wanda was wherever she was at the end of WandaVision, like practicing from the dark hold and everything. And meanwhile, Agatha's still back in Westview, like trapped under this spell or whatever. We get the introduction of Teen, who, let's get right to it. Who do you think it is?
I think it's Agatha's son.
Okay. Which the speculation is that her son was who's the rabbit, technically, Senior Scratchy, or in this case, Nicholas Scratch, from what I'm understanding. That's one of the speculations going around. Yeah, it could be him. One. So now, but I also thought, like, well, maybe it's Billy, right?
Yeah,
one of the teams, but why would it just be him though?
Yeah, and I saw something about that too, and they didn't actually exist in this universe. You know what I mean? Like, it was just magical.
Oh, because like, at the end of
they disappeared. They vanished because they
in
weren't actually
WandaVision,
part of
right?
that universe.
That's right. So that's true. Great point. Great excellent point. I definitely missed that. Excellent point. Okay. Yeah, so let's scratch that out. Cause that was the one. Yo, I'm telling y'all, it's Wiccan, yo, is Billy. I'm like, cause Wiccan and Speed or whatever. But yeah, they did vanish as did Vision.
I got some other theories too, but let's
hold
not
them
skip
because we don't know where the show gonna go.
In episode 3, they kind of went into that a little more.
Yeah, I was about to say I hit you too. I was like, yo, did you? I just saw some. You hadn't saw it yet. And who plays him? I could look that up real quick. He's
that was Joe.
Damn,
Locke.
Where's the cast? Yeah, Joe Locke. Yeah. Yep. They got him in all 9 episodes, so we know. But they also Catherine Hunt is in all 9. Oh, girl is in all 9. Jennifer Kale from the shop or whatever. She's in 8 of them. Alice Wu.
Yeah, all those witches are only in 8, and then Aubrey, she's in 7.
Yeah, she's in 7 of them. So that tells me our Aubrey Plaza plays Rio Vidal. That tells me she's probably gonna die. The other witches too, from what I understand, because I did a little more research. I didn't know by name, but I understand they were from the comics as well. Right. So I just didn't know what they were from the Witches Coven from the comics. Now we have here Deborah Jo Rupp from that 70s show, but also we recall her from WandaVision or whatever, who she basically played who she was from that 70s show. She dies in episode 3, and it shows on here on IMDb. She is just 3 episodes, you know. And I didn't see that coming. Like I said, we're gonna jump around, man, because it's a nice. All of the episodes just kind of intertwined, so it's not necessarily so. Oh, you gotta just zone in specifically on episode 1. So I thought that was interesting. And then all the characters from WandaVision, they were only in the first episode. Yeah, man. So this is pretty interesting. So yeah, she discovers Team, but also at the same time, when she realizes that she's truly Agatha still, it's because of Rio Vidal. Apparently either an old rival, maybe an old fling. What do you think? What do you get from that?
See, this is where I start to go down like the crazy rabbit holes, you know, because what's up the blackness of her, you know what I mean? Like there's a part of me that thinks that she might actually be Blackheart, Mephisto's son.
Read my mind because
one thing, you know, a bunch of people were like, oh, it's a gender bent you know, Blackheart, but Blackheart can shapeshift, change it. Like it might actually, you know, be, you know, Blackheart, like Mephisto's son.
When you told me that, man, it made so much sense because weren't the speculation going around through a lot of the recaps and everything, because like I said, I'm not that familiar with Agatha from the books or nothing like that. I've heard enough clearly about Mephisto, obviously because of WandaVision, and just all the speculation that was going around with that. They were saying it could be either Mephisto or Nightmare, right? But we jump ahead to episode 3, and Mephisto name is mentioned for the first time in the MCU, and I was like, oh shit. So when that happened, I was like, oh damn, and that's when I hit you, and that's when you came and you was like, yeah, I think, you know, you said that about Rio Vidal. When you said he said he shapeshifts. So the whole thing online now is just a speculation about, oh, they're trying to indicate that Agatha and Rio Vidal were a thing, like, you know, LGBTQ, you know, plus community style thing. But with you bringing that up, as far as this being Blackheart, so the way that when Rio Vidal's like, do you remember what you did to me or something like that, or what happened or whatever, it could be that in their past, she was just flat out Blackheart, not this character Rio Vidal. And just so, yeah, that man, damn, it made so much sense when you said it. I was like, oh, that kills everything. I don't even need to. And I'm wondering, like, just because we're there with it, is the writing just that clear on the wall? Because usually with Marvel, when they do that, we be like, yo, I'm telling you, y'all, it's something we are never right. We're almost 100% wrong every time, and it goes somewhere else with him. Like, oh, what? Like, it mess around, it'd be, I don't know, they pull a rabbit out the hat. hint, and it be her son. Who knows? We don't know. Man, that's interesting. Well, we jump into episode 2. This I didn't. I don't know, man. This
back to the episode 1. That opening scene when you saw that woman on the ground. What was your first thought?
How do we skip past that? Once I saw the feet and the jeans, and I was like, the black fingertips and everything. I was like, oh, that's Wanda. That's clearly Wanda.
I was like,
the hoodie for sure, because this was the fit that she had on in the finale of WandaVision.
The jeans
until
shoes.
Until she took off and had her regular fit on. But yeah, thank you for bringing me back to that, because I almost breezed past it. The black fingertips, the dirty feet. It was like, because Wanda was just out there just reckless. I
like how they did that too, because it signified that Wanda was dead and the spell was broken. But I don't think Wanda is dead.
I don't think so either.
I think she's in a different. I think she might have been able to skip to another dimension.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why I think that as well, is because one of those episodes, because Agatha is technically she's powerless still, as well as the other witches, right? So I'm wondering, like, damn, did Wanda also put a spell? How did they lose their powers? Did they give a backstory to that in any of the episodes? It was like episode 2 when she met them, when she was recruiting them.
Agatha stole their powers, wasn't it? Or at least one of them.
Yeah, because they were like,
one of them
because Jennifer was pissed.
I trust you. Yeah.
Jennifer was like beefed out with her when she seen her show up to her shop. So it might have been her, but old girl, like the older lady, was like kind of playing along with Agatha in this sense. I don't know what that was about. And then there was the other lady who was she like a security guard or something like that. Alice Wu, I believe.
So the Jennifer Kale one. What we see in the 3rd episode, I think she lost her powers from that dude who she saw in that vision, like when her mind was being messed with, that doctor looking dude. I think that's who she lost her powers from, because Agatha or something said, that man may have taken your powers, but he hasn't taken away your abilities, your ability.
Yeah, because she told her she'll I've always hated you or something like that. I do remember that. And she was telling, that's when she said it too. Yeah, so I was wondering, like, how did all of them? Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. So this I almost lost my point. So Wanda putting Agatha under that spell. I'm with you on thinking that maybe Wanda's not dead, and the reason being is because at one of those, I forget which episode it was. It might have been 3, and they said that the spell can only be broken if the party that cast the spell is dead. So if Agatha is still powerless,
well, because it wasn't necessarily a spell that subdued her powers.
Okay,
Wanda stole her powers like Agatha was doing to all those other witches.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. All right, see, I ain't think about that. Okay, so I thought she just put her in a spell in.
Yeah, no, she stole, like, because there was that scene where she was floating in the sky and she was like sucking all her powers out.
Yeah, the whole time when she had the little because Agatha thought she was taking her powers, and Wanda drooped her head down, pretended to be like just out of it. I do remember that night. Damn, I kind of that show was great, man. I would have to go back and like watch that show, because it had it so intrigued. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like all through WandaVision.
The main reason why I don't think Wanda is dead is because at the there was that scene at the end of Doctor Strange where Mount Wundagore Temple was like coming down on her, and right as it was like going down to crush, there was a poof of red magic.
I was just about to say, you saw like the redness shoot out or whatever.
Yeah.
So what could that have meant?
That was her dying. But like maybe she did some weird shit where she was able to like dream walk and actually move her physical form into a different dimension. So
with that being okay, no, I was just about to say like her being laying there dead in the grass or whatever. But again, this was Agatha's, I guess you would say, imagination, because when she discovered, that she was who she was or whatever, later in that. And then what was this, episode 2 or was it 1? It might have been 1 where we saw that she had the little makeshift vehicle or whatever the whole time. Like, oh shit, so you wasn't really driving. And then when she did discover that, because this might have been episode 2, and she she was going up to the neighbors, like she went up to her, and they basically was like, yo, like you kept talking about this detective bullshit or whatever. We just played along. I couldn't imagine. Could you imagine that, dog? Like you just like you
running around butt naked.
You talking norm? Yeah, she like that was crazy. I'm like, what's going on? So like the neighbors looking like, I'm thinking the neighbors gonna look at her like, yo, what you on? But they looking like, we basically like we been thought you was crazy. We just was playing along. Yeah. Like that's it. And at the same time,
care of you, making sure you're good.
We saw the scrap between you and Wanda, so we know what you capable of. So we ain't really low key. We not fucking with you like that. And we trying to keep our distance, so we don't, the person that you know is crazy, you just kind of like, just playing along with it. I think that's what that was with them. Matter of fact, that is what that was. So she recruits all the witches, the witches coven, I guess, which I do understand is from the comic books, and they all got their own reason for why they want to join. They're kind of like not down on their luck per se, but desperate. So they come to thing that they want to go to down the witch's road or whatever, and this is because of Teen per se, right? Because he's basically letting her know like, yo, I studied you, and he studied the Scarlet Witch and everything, which is, so that further lets me know like, no, this is not Billy. So I don't know why. Now I'm thinking about like, why would I think it was Billy? Because if he's saying he stayed, that's your mom. Your mom. So yeah, of course. Now it makes me think even more that it could be who you said, like this dark haired character. How you just know all this and retain all this information about Agatha and the Scarlet Witch and everything?
Yeah. Well, no. It's Rio that I think is Blackheart, but I have a theory.
Yeah, my fault.
Blackheart that Blackheart and Agatha had a kid, and that's where the kid is. And that's, when Rio said, don't you remember what you did? I think she might be referring to, because Agatha gave up her kid.
For the dark hole. Yeah.
I'm thinking from Mephisto. Because you notice anytime he like says his name or any information about him.
Yeah.
But it doesn't just bleep out. There's an M over his mouth.
It's like an M. Yeah, which I thought at first was a W, then I had to look again. Oh shit, man!
M for Mephisto to block out because she gave him up. So,
because then the backstory, like when he was even in the car where he was telling the backstory on who he was, and when they were in the car or whatever, and she was trying to triple like, yo, I can't hear him, and she turned up the radio to make sure she wasn't deaf or whatever. So I was watching that. I'm like, it did it even then, but then it was like it did the he was just talking. You just seen him yapping or whatever. And then after he was done, like giving his backstory, he was still talking, but he wasn't necessarily giving that particular information. So you saying specifically him, Teen is Mephisto.
No, I'm saying the Teen is Agatha's son that she traded to Mephisto.
That she traded.
To get the
okay.
Yeah.
Wow. But if she traded, so this is where I'm a little confused, because if she traded her son for the dark hole to Mephisto, how would the son still exist in present day?
Because maybe he just let him out, or whatever. Who knows why? Mephisto likes to mess with people, but that would explain why he's not allowed. Like nobody can hear who he is, or anything about him, and that M appears over his mouth.
What about his attachment to Senior Scratchy?
I don't know.
So what if the son was Senior Scratchy, and like how you said, we see him now in present day because Mephisto released him, and now the rabbit is just a rabbit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's possible. Yeah.
Because remember, and also I don't know if you remember this. It was a thing before around the time of WandaVision. They said that they had to cut it because they didn't have enough in the budget, I guess, to do like the special effects how they wanted to. But it was supposed to be Senior Scratchy was going to become a demon. That kind of ties in and makes a little sense with Mephisto. So maybe she traded her son for the dark hold because she traded him for the dark hold.
Yep.
It made her son like, okay, I agree to my son being a demon as long as I get this. Well, you're a demon, but you're just gonna be a demon in this rabbit. So you still gonna be her son, but you're just gonna be a rabbit.
I think regardless, before even any of that, he would have been half demon, because I think that he may be the son of Agatha and Blackheart.
Yeah.
And that's why Rio is so pissed, because she's like, you traded our son.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I can see that being the case. And I want to be right too, because I hope this is the one we get right. Like, we was on it. Like, I want to be proud about this. They sing the song. I'm skipping past that because we don't here at Marvel of the Minds. We don't do the musicals. We don't like the musicals, man. The musicals not dope. Y'all stop doing the musicals, man. So we get to episode 3. 3 wasn't really a lot happening in 3, except for the fact that we discovered that Mephisto name was dropped. Because she said, like, oh, you ain't heard when Jennifer was talking to Teen, she's like, oh, you ain't know. Oh, she told her, like, don't trust Agatha. And he like basically like, what you talking about? So she's like, oh, you ain't know about her. You don't know what she did or whatever. Like, she steals witches' powers or whatever. Witches be tripping. And and she tells him like something along the lines of, she traded her own son for the dark hold. Something she said, and I remember hearing. All I know is I heard Mephisto's name in that storyline, and I was like, "Oh, we here." So they was doing a lot trying to get their powers back. They had to get a lock of hair, blood from somebody who I forget what it was. But they had to get somebody's blood, and they was able to get his blood because he couldn't drink. He couldn't drink Wanda
blood from the unpoisoned.
Yeah, the unpoisoned, because they drank that wine and the wine was poison or whatever, because their faces swell up and everything, which I thought was kind of funny. Wanda didn't drink it. So she must have knew it was poison. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, Agatha didn't drink it. People, she poured it out. I'm like, oh, she know it's poison. So the rest of them looking like, yo, why you gotta drink it? So old girl do the spell, do the magic, whatever, get the drink back in there, make her drink it. They go about trying to get their powers back, whatever. So they have to do all this. This is also after they, at the end of episode 2, where I believe they bypass the, like we mentioned it earlier, because we was jumping around when I said the Salem 7 showed up, which made me think now, like, that might have been the witches that I keep saying Wanda, that Agatha killed, we saw in WandaVision, and to get their powers. So I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing them. Well, Dottie Hart was her name. Is it Dottie? I got her name right?
Her name isn't actually Hart. It was Sharon something.
Yeah. Because she like, my name is Sharon. And I like the little in episode 2, how they did that 70s show reference, where they kind of a lot of people probably I caught out immediately. Oh, I get what they doing. So but so she gets stuck. She veers off of the road and gets stuck or whatever, like sinking down where they got to save her and basically tell her don't veer off on the road, which I kind of saw as foreshadowing for some reason. I seen that, I was like, for a minute, I was like, yo, what if she's really the witch?
That's another Wizard of Oz thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't leave the road. Yeah.
Yep. And then once we saw that, once I really got the idea that, oh, she's not a witch at all. She's not the heart that they're looking for. And I thought what you was thinking, like, oh, Real Vidal is the other, the Black Heart, and it ties in perfectly when he was like, you brought it up then and was like, yo, Black Heart, Mephisto's son. I'm like, oh, because they was looking for the other. I thought it was the Green Heart, but I guess it was the because they said something about they're looking for a Green Heart.
For Earth Witch or whatever it was, green, and she had a green thumb growing plants like they just made, which they literally just sent her off to the wolves. Like,
man, hilarious, dog. And then just she died, man. She didn't make it. Yeah. And that capped off the episode, man. So I mean, it was enough to make me look forward to episode 4. So I'm interested. Like I still want to wait it out and cover like 4 through 6. Because it's just, like I said, it's not a lot really happening unless it is enough to where it's like, oh shit, like we really need to kind of dive into this one particular episode. But it's enough to break up, I would say, into like 3s.
How many is there going to be?
9 altogether. Okay. Same as WandaVision. Okay. Yep. Okay. Shit, man. Not too much left. We really knocked out everything in the episodes. Like honestly, yeah, man. So y'all gonna catch us again. We bouncing back to when give it maybe like 2 or 3 episodes, and we'll be back to cover the show and probably give y'all some content in between because we got some like throwback Marvel reviews we want to do for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, look forward to those and let them know where they can find you at, man.
Peace of Mind 313 everywhere, always.
Yes, sir. Same here. Nametag Alexander across all platforms. We can stream and buy music. Same as across social media. I got to do a better job at getting that merch up because I do want to post our Marvel of the Minds merch as well through the Leading Me Legendary website. So till next time, we'll catch y'all soon. It's been Marvel of the Minds. Peace.